Okay. So I don't like it with streams where there's that long starting thing at the beginning. You gotta kind of wait there patiently or scan ahead. The practical reason for having that little screen at the beginning, it's real simple. There's a period of time after I hit the start streaming button where I don't know yet if I'm actually broadcasting. It can be from 5 to 30 seconds. So if I were to kind of sit here waiting like this until I was absolutely sure I was broadcasting, it would look super creepy. Super creepy. Although I could make that my thing. Anyways, off on a weird tangent. Hey, I'm Eric. I'm making a game. That game is called The Godkiller. And I'm going to demo it. I'm going to get right to demo. Let's do that. Fixing a few privacy things off of my work screen before I switch over. And let's go over there. So I'm working on this reincarnation, the second reincarnation of a level. Oh, I've still got the player off in the wrong starting spot. Let me start over. Here's where you'd start the level at. Okay. It's a story level. There's a bit of story in it. That's the main purpose of it. It's not a large challenge of any sort. But it's also the first time in the game where you're exposed to the stepping mechanic, where creatures move only after you move, which other people call turn-based. I don't like turn-based because it implies you're going to set up a big turn, like you're going to put your command in a envelope or something, lick it close, put a stamp on it, or in game equivalent, press the next turn button or submit button. Nothing like that. Press the command you want to do, and that is a step. Okay? So that guy down there who's on the ground, he will, once he decides he doesn't want to stand there, be moving around, but he will move only after you move. So similar to maybe like speed chess, if you've got somebody who's just really on it and they're ready to do their move as soon as you do yours, they're just so ready. You move your pawn forward and they immediately, they've got their finger on their pawn, they want to move it forward right after you. That's kind of how it feels, and even a little more so because there's no delay at all. You can also see for the second time in the game God floating around, and I got a little surprise here. Friend of the stream, Evasive Bits, he made a model of a statue, and it's kind of perfect. Like if I go to the asset store and I look for models there, they're all kind of too much. They look beautiful, the ones that were there, but I wanted something just sort of simple and low poly that fit with the rest of the level, and these are good. I pulled out my two my two giant lights and stuck these guys here instead, or these gals, I should say. They're somewhat patterned. Well, maybe they were exactly patterned after Virgin Mary by EB when he created them. But for me, I prefer to think of them as a symbol that may or may not have its true origin in the Mary of Judaism. So there's all kinds of symbols that you'll find in this game as we go along. From the very beginning, there's one, the portal. It has a certain shape, and it's very basic, but it reminds maybe a little bit of a cross. It's got that kind of feel to it. But I don't want to intentionally take the symbols of any religion and put them in here. This is kind of like a reset, a new universe, and some things from the last may come over into this one. Some things may be transformed from the previous universe into something a little different in this one. And the third possibility is that there could be something even more fundamental between this universe and the previous one, and maybe others, that's shared across them. So in this world, maybe there is some sort of Mary figure, but her role might have been entirely different. So it's evocative. I like it. It's simple. It fits the aesthetic. EB, I'm not sure if you'll ever hear this. I'll if you're on at some point, I'll thank you again. But thanks very much. Okay. So about this level, which I'm continuing to demo, there is some dialogue that will occur between Billy and God. God is those hands. What's the proper grammar for that? God are those hands. God singular is comprised of those hands. I think you have to have one be singular, one be plural, then there has to be some other bridge between it in the words. He's having a conversation with Billy. I need something to slow the player down a little bit. If she could fling through here really quick, she would get into the interactive area, the area where she can interact with Billy before the conversation that God wants to have with Billy is complete. So there's these ditches on the side of the road. If you chose to fling to get going a little bit faster, you end up in the ditch. And the ditch doesn't take you anywhere, with one minor exception. You basically just backtrack to the beginning. If you end up on the other side of the road, you'd backtrack over here. Actually, they're connected. It's all one loop. I just went past the secret. It was designed to... I just went past the secret. It was designed to be pretty subtle. Okay. You see a little gap here in the wall, but that's a one-way passage. Okay, so this conversation Billy and God will have will last about 20 seconds. And most players will not be able to get to the end of this road before it ends. God's fiddling around out there. I'm going to limit that by some scripting so he doesn't go over there immediately. He stays in the arena. Okay, he should stay targeted on Billy until M drops into this area I call the arena. God's going to be goading her to go and push Billy. Okay, so then when she comes out here, God's like, push Billy, push him, push Billy, Billy, push him, you must push him. Something kind of like that. Okay. M doesn't understand why, but all right. Okay, and Billy doesn't want to fight. He's cowardly. He runs away. He runs. He's uncatchable. Okay, so this is what I was talking about with the stepping mechanic. So he's just waiting there. Now say I move east. He starts running west, but he pauses. He's waiting for me to move. As soon as I move, he moves. You can hear my key press. Oh, it's super dark in there. Okay, that little chamber might need a little bit of light. That's pretty dark. Oh, and I found a way to kill him. Huh. I really thought he was kind of impossible to kill without a dead end. I might have to reposition those blocks. Okay, so if you destroy all the blocks that spell the word safe, then and only then the door to the north that had the word safe on it will open. By the way, these are fundamental properties of the game elements. It's not like a special code, any kind of link between them. It's just a rule. If there's any formation of blocks in the level any place that spells the same word as on a level door or a letter gate, that gate will close and become solid and impassable. Okay. So if Billy was still alive and he was scripted right, he'd be running down this hallway away from you, and God would be hovering nearby. You get to hear he pleads, and then God's like, no, push him against a wall, push him. If he's got nowhere to be pushed to, and you push against him, and this is true for anything that's pushable in this world, it's destroyed. And he's destroyed, and it surprises him. She's new to this world. She doesn't understand the mechanics of it, much like the player. And she's unhappy with the results. She's confused, startled, regretful, ashamed. And at this point, I think God would leave, and she would be able to come back and take a hop up on the exit. Okay, so I described a whole bunch of things, story-wise, dialogue-wise, that aren't actually happening in the level yet. And in this session, I'll make those things happen. And I don't think it'll take me all day. I've actually got something I got to do in the afternoon. More evening, but still, I'll probably get done even before that thing. But what I will end up doing after I finish this little bit on the arena is going off stream and working on the Windows shader problems. I hope. So I can get a Windows build out to the playtesters, who happen to all be Windows people, I think, and not any Mac people. Runs great on a Mac, doesn't run on Windows yet, or it does run, but the shader is not working, so it causes the whole thing to be magenta except for particle effects. Other than that, it seems to be working great. All right, so I saw a few things, and since the fleeing AI seems to be confusable with these blocks, I think I'll move the blocks out. I'll put them some places where Billy would not run to. I'm thinking about that a little bit more. No, I can do it. Let's do move the stairs. So my thinking here is, yeah, we could get Billy to go up the stairs with the fleeing behavior, but we can't get him to come out this way and interact with the blocks. I just don't want him to be killable for story reasons yet. Later on he'll be killable, but I want M to have to chase him down that narrow hallway to get him killed. What was I looking for? Oh, the Pro Builder. Tools, Pro Builder window. There we go. I was mistaken in thinking Pro Builder was causing this annoying error. I still don't know what's causing this. So if I just bring it out like that, what can happen is that Billy will be able to, you can chase him to go up and down these stairs. But since you can't get west of him over here while he's coming up the stairs, he will not come out to here. So there's some kind of thing with the blocks where he gets confused because they're not proper obstacles. He has an ability to push them if they're in his way. So since he's not treating these as obstacles, his code, which says, okay, you're at the end of, you're as far as you can go, pick another direction besides the one you're originally going in, is not handling that situation as I would like. So the simplest thing is just a level design around it. Let me just, instead of trying to move these, I think I'm just gonna make them from scratch. Okay, let's just get rid of all the, well, not all of them, not the wind ones. Those ones are fine. Okay, delete that one. One other idea. I could make you climb up. Nah. So if I put that platform in there, I'll make the camera be jumping up and down a lot, and it just won't look as good as I'd like it to. Okay, so this will also need rails. For no other reason, I don't want blocks to ever land on stairs, so I gotta protect against that. It's a long story, why not? But I thought about it. I could say I took the easy way out, but I can't think of a good practical solution for depicting blocks on steps. Okay, so we'll do southwest. Whoops. Okay, this would be north. Okay. Rail southeast. Northeast. Yeah, I think that's good. I was briefly considering putting some rails going down this way, but nah, I'm changing my mind even again. Okay, let's do the full rail. Rail west down south. No. Rail east down south. Okay. Rail east down north. Oh, that's why I was getting confused. This guy's up 1. It's like, why can't I make this corner piece join? Arguably, it still looks pretty off. He just kind of futs it in. And you might say, that looks terrible. How sloppy can you be? But okay, you're kind of right. You're kind of right. It's just not going to matter much. That was my defense. Let's see, what if I go like this? So 90 plus 45. 135. I'm wrong. That's not the right way to do it. Maybe a little more. I'm futzing with this too much. Let's put it back to 90. Let's fiddle it in a little bit, futz it a little bit, call good. Because look, here's what it's going to look like. That just can't matter. That just can't matter. Okay. Our corner, southeast. Come on. I don't know why you're busting my balls about these corner pieces, imaginary person. In my head, I don't know why you're doing that. They just don't matter. Not that much. You can just barely see something there. And it could be the real life equivalent of a sloppy weld. So just stop it. Get off my case. Oh man. It's not gonna work. Huh. Never thought about that before. You know, probably got other locations where this is happening. I know how I handled it in another level, though. I kind of flipped it around and I had the rails be on the exterior of the other squares on the border. And then there was space for the block to be pushed against the rails and not look like it was a ghost block going through all the meshes. Okay, but let's fix this with level design. Actually, the real thing I need to prevent is the blocks being pushed onto the stairs. That's really it. So if I take out these, won't need these anymore. All that futzing was worthless. Then I put in some rails in a different place. Put it here. And it's impossible to get these onto the steps. Oh, no wonder I had such a weird time with these. I didn't pick the right ones. Okay. I think that was the issue. Let me try this again. This is east down north. Do I have it right? Seems like the prefab is off. I even see more problems with this. Okay. This was east down south. This one is actually aligned correctly. East down north is off by a small amount. So I've got two problems to fix in the prefabs there. Let's do east down south first. That's the easy one. I kept on missing. Although sometimes I wonder if I missed these or if I simply had them overridden by an earlier version of Pro Builder, where when editing materials it would want to hold on to old materials. That definitely was a thing. Okay, so then let's go back to the scene. That fixes that one. This guy is probably going to be easiest to fix it in the scene. So I'm going to say grid and snap settings, 0.05 maybe. I'll just take what's the plus on this? What is the oh, that, okay. Yeah, let's get on this one. Okay. Okay, that's what it needs. Let's update the prefab. Cool. That was this is unexpectedly requiring more work than I thought. that's that. What the hell? What is this? What? On this side, I think it's fine. On this side. I always knew I was going to get some Z fighting around here. That's fine. But why are you there? Is this whole thing up one or something? No. So up top, it's fine. Maybe down here. Let's go down like that. I mean, I hope I'm picking the right thing to mess with there. Let's go ahead and pull this down again. Okay. Huh. Oops. Let's just go back to 1 unit snaps. Okay, the 2 other copies of this I have to make will not take nearly as long. So let's just make a symmetrical version of this on the other side. You might say, well, if it's just a copy of it, why don't you just make a copy and rotate it? But it's actually not a rotation. It's not symmetrical via rotation, but symmetrical via like a flip or horizontal mirroring. So it's a different transformation. I don't have that available to me in the editor. I'm probably a little bit like the person who gets really good at doing math on an abacus and says it doesn't want to use a calculator because he's just so freaking good with the abacus. Pro Builder is not the best modeling tool. It's not designed to be a full-fledged modeling tool, but I use it that way just because it's easy for me to stay in the to keep modeling capabilities while I'm placing things within the editor. So it's made, the tool is made for prototyping, or what do they call it? Something like whiteboarding or anyways, you make like a initial layout of your level, and then you're supposed to replace it in replace all the things you've got in it with the real assets that look good, you know. Or you could say it's also suitable for like all the little walls and things that don't really deserve like a real nice intricate modeling. Or you could say you have a game that has sort of a more geometrically focused aesthetic, like Manifold Garden, made in Pro Builder, or mine, the Godkiller, and it's just fine. It's good. Because the intent of this game is to have many views where you're just high above everything. This is about the right viewpoint, but you should be able to see a lot of information and see it clearly. So I could have like some grandiose details, a big facade over the front of this, and you know, it would look better. It would look a lot better. But for you to be able to read this quickly as a character, those aren't just extravagances, they're impediments. So a really fancy floor right here with like carpets and stuff on it, and you know, just real grandiose. You'll have a hard time processing that as this is a place I can walk on. It's got squares this far apart. You know, this is too wide here. It's not 1 or 3. You know, stuff like that. And these rails, you need to be able to pick them up kind of quickly as, okay, this is a standard obstacle along the edge of this square. So they're repeated quite a bit, where aesthetically it would be a better choice to replace them with, you know, something that gave more visual variety. All right, so then let's finish up over here. Rails should go faster. Now that I know what I'm doing. I'm going to go rails west down south. All right, see, that one looks healthy. Rails west down north. I say it out loud like that because I am a weird guy that mumbles, but kind of like Papa, you know, put the rails there. But also my own little reference system. I have to remind myself, you know, which one to get. It's the direction of the rail and then the direction of movement down the stairs. Okay, so this one's going to be west. Yeah, so this one didn't have any issues with it. It was just that other prefab. Oh, I say that, and then right away I see a renegade texture. Okay, so rails west down north. Okay, fix that. That's not too bad. All right, get the end pieces. All right, these I will try to just copy across. it's harder to do that than it looks. I could do it, but it's going to be a whole lot of clicking. It's actually easier just to recreate them, it turns out. Okay, so put this. Okay, one more. Yeah, I'm thinking of one other possibility. So, because these blocks are not up against a wall, you can knock them around in different ways. It might be possible to open the safe gate and then close it. So the trouble is, at some point, I'm going to script Billy to just beeline for that safe door, which is very unsafe for him, we find out. But if the player is sitting on a combination of blocks that they can close, then they can confuse the dialogue. So I was just kind of playing through my head ways that I could handle that case. They're a little complex. So I could just say that Billy is going to try to get to that door even if it's closed, and he'll just be waiting by that door. And then the player could do two things. They could open the door again and he'd run through. We'd be back in the normal cases. Or the player could just walk up to him and smash him while he was hovering right in front of the door here, waiting for it to open. If she does that, then there might be differences in the dialogue. And I won't get a chance to play the animation for Billy cringing that I think would be effective. So this is annoying, but I need to make a further modification to these things so that you cannot push them out. I think it's not too hard. So there's lots of ways to logically do it. I'm looking for a solution that works logically but is also not ugly to look at. Doesn't cause aesthetic problems. Okay, so one thing I can do. I don't think this is too bad. I think it works just fine. Just make a little wall around the whole thing. Story levels are kind of a pain. Oh, but look, there's this, it's supposed to be some negative space under this archway. Alright, you know what? I'm going to make this a lot simpler. A lot simpler. I'm reminding myself also, I don't want this level to be hard. I don't want it to be hard. There is a thing where I also introduced for the first time that there would be more than one set of blocks to destroy. I don't think I need to do that here. So all I need is just one structure that Billy won't walk up onto, that's got the blocks safe on it. And also you should not be able to reform the word safe afterwards. So let me just make one structure that allows you to do that. Let me think, where's the best place to put it? Could go back in here. I don't think that's a good solution though. Okay. That's there. What about down here? Is that a good place to put it? Opposite end. It kind of is, because it's got the advantage that... Oh, I gotta think of another possibility though. Because M can fling, once Billy starts running for safety, M can get in front of him and block him. And story-wise, I just want to give Billy the chance to get out this door. Okay, so what I need is some kind of structure that slows M down enough that by the time she's at the top, Billy will be down here, and by the time she gets back down out of the structure, Billy will be through the door. So I'm picturing a kind of tower down in this corner. Okay, this is going to be fun to make, actually. It's like a slow you down kind of structure, but it'll be interesting. Okay, lots and lots of stairs coming right up. I'm picturing it going boom. Okay, if that's what I'm doing, maybe I can just tighten it up a little bit. Just go. Not really. Okay. So I want symmetry. This is the minimum size for this weird thing I'm making to have symmetry. Start here, wrap around there. But you can come back in this far, which is cool, and out like that. Okay. This will be a little bit of a job, but it'll be worth it. It'll make something that looks neat. So let's start it here. Okay, so these guys also need to come up. Oh. I wonder if anyone's ever made a staircase like this in real life. It's a little like a spiral staircase. I'm gonna call it a cloverleaf staircase. No, it's gonna be like that. Okay, let's make sure that these guys are actually lining up like I think they will. I hate it when they do that. here. We got floor. Don't do that. Pro Builder, you've been stupid. Okay. Yeah, this is just mildly tricky. In fact, let's back that up. Bring it out just to here. Okay, that's cool. Hoping one revolution on this will suffice. Okay, let me see if I've made any major mistakes yet. In fact, I have. Well, easily correctable now. We'll go this way. Looks cool. Okay, I'll end up putting rails on it too. Okay, so I'm thinking about how many turns this buys me. So player is here. 1, 2, assuming they're flinging on each turn, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is good. It's about half, so about 26 turns. So during this time, say Billy was, at the worst case, he was here. He would have started moving south on the first one. So okay, he's there on the first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. This is going to be perfect. So even before I switch to the scripted behavior where he runs out here, he'll be down here just by fleeing. He might be off over in this corner here. I'll have to special case script to get him out of there if that's what's happened, or he might be in here, same deal. So I'll say, as soon as the player has disrupted the formation, the safe formation, and opened this gate, we start Billy from somewhere on this northern edge, beelining for the gate. He's got 26 turns, the player coming back down the structure, the cloverleaf, to get inside this door. He's got plenty of time. And it's not just enough time, it's got to be clear to the player that there's no trick to getting in front of Billy. Like, they should know at the top of the structure that in order to move the game along, they have to disrupt that structure and open the gate, and they should know that it's impossible to get in front of Billy once he's elected to go through that door. And that's why it shouldn't be close. It shouldn't be close. Like if I was timing it so that the player could just barely kind of get behind Billy before he goes through the gate, then that would send the wrong message, because then they might start thinking, let's optimize, let's see if we can get in front of him, and I don't want that. Okay. Freaking political messages. So I marked them all as spam, and I really hope whatever campaign that they're working with, that they're not using their personal phones, because a lot of these people are actually nice volunteers, and they're people trying to do good stuff. And I know I did phone bakes for Obama, and was kind of disgusted with the whole process of get out the vote calls, and decided I'd never do it again. But a lot of these people that are sending text messages and calling, they're actually volunteers. They've kind of gotten chumped into the whole regime. And if they're using their personal phones, there's privacy problems. And also they're going to be blocked by thousands of people. So one of the people that you call and you get out the vote or text is maybe a bank officer that you need to send a text to make an inquiry or receive a call from, or send a call to in order to sort out a problem with your mortgage and the call is blocked and you can't get through that person. You know, it's just, I really hate the get out the vote efforts. I could go on at length. They're very cynical. Okay, so let's get these guys going. One revolution will do it. Part of me wants to make a version of this that's like even more grandiose, but I'm gonna resist. What do I do on this side? I just went up, came over, went up again. Okay. Then it should come up around this. Let's bring these up further. Man, I love some staircases. Staircases are fun. So if I was going to keep going up another revolution, what I would have done is started making like a sloping upward ceiling at this point, so that you would have the highest possible ceiling above you when you come around this way. But this is not going to be that staircase, much as I'd love to keep going. It's just going to go around one revolution. And let's see, the entry to it will be down here. Okay. Let's see, did I mess up anything there? Yeah, I did. This guy should be up one. So this is the end of the line right here. Let's see, what on this side? Yeah, that's right. Bring it out over here. And for the first time you get to the middle. I guess here maybe I will overlap the ceiling up above just a little bit. Right at the top, this is where I'll have the formation. So to make this work a little bit better, don't like a stairway going right up against a wall, ever. Oops. Stop it. Let's go. Like that. This might need a work light in here. Make sure I get all this right. There's a question, how far up do I want these to extend? I think all the way to the top. Ooh. Okay, get to go a little bit higher here. So it's pretty high. I don't need to worry about making this go the ceiling higher. Stop. There we go. All right, let's eyeball this a little bit. Maybe the best thing is to have these guys come up a little bit higher than the topmost stair. I could replace those with pillars. Yeah, let's do pillars. See, did that wind up in exactly the right spot? I think it did. Or am I off by one? No, I got it. I think it's more fun not to case everything off entirely, so you can kind of see into the gaps and everything in the structure. At the top, let's put some pillar lamps. Alright, so you gotta wind your way up all these little steps. I gotta rail them a bit. Actually, I gotta rail them a lot. At the very top, there's gonna be some blocks. Okay. And I will have that same rail problem, but now that I've thought about it a little bit, I think it's not going to be that hard. Just got to make some custom rails for this particular case. There's a nice little advantage to this going up like this. You'll be able to see Billy running off north as you walk up the steps. Oh, actually, this is probably pretty easy. I don't even have to do rails on the top because you can only approach it from the south. And you just put a little wall thing on the other side of it. Don't want you to be able to step up on top of this, so do that. And then need what I've been calling understairs. This little okay. So now it's just, I think it's just a ton of railing. Okay, I think it's gonna work. I can bring this down a little bit lower. So I've got this other thing which serves as an obstacle. Okay. So now, railing. It's not just railing for the blocks, it's railing for the players so they don't go off west or east. If you did fling east though, where would you go? This against this over here, okay. Okay, maybe I will follow the other railing strategy I was going to use. Since I need it for the player. Okay, which way is north? This way is north, okay. So what I can do is take rails from the other side. So instead of doing a north rail on this square, I'll do a south rail from the square just north. So that way there's space for the blocks without overlapping. Okay, so I just need that oversized thing for the square where the blocks are. Don't need any place else. Okay, now let's make this spell the word I want. One trick is getting the rails up here to join up in a nice way. Yeah, there's gonna be some tricky rail stuff here. Man, I really underestimated the amount of work around this one little thing. It all started from Billy getting killed accidentally, and then I started thinking about all the dialogue stuff that needed to happen, how it could be disrupted by things the player did. So story levels, they do take time, particularly with this insistence, no cutscenes. There will be no cutscenes. Everything happens while you're playing. And that's the end result of this. There's more time you got to spend to tighten up all the little things that could cause the dialogue to go wrong or require you to write more dialogue to cover different cases. But it is possible. Let's see. So let's take this rail, unpack it. And I think I need to hide these blocks just so I'm able to work. Okay, so then I can get in there and see things. Okay, I'll take this. Just let me do one, get it how I like it, and I'll do the rest. Okay, we'll say 4, and we'll extrude 1, 2, 3, 4. Then link. Okay, it seems like going this way I need to turn off the snap or something like that. go back to this mode, turn that off, go back to this mode. Man, Saturday mornings I get some serious vocal fry going. Okay, hide this guy too. I don't want to hide the offset. Let's hide the top level object. Come on, where you at? Where you at? There we go. All right, I think I got this right. The only thing I don't like is that it seems like it's missing the smoothing here. I know how to fix that though. I just have to, there's these new faces, they're not included in the smoothing group, that's why it's not smooth. So let's select all the faces. Not that one. Okay, do I got them all? I probably do. Did you end up getting the ends too? I don't really want the ends in it. I don't know. I think there's something going on where since I've got all of the faces picked, it's showing up yellow in here too. Let me just redo it. I really just want to do it one time and get it right and not be messed up on it. Okay, there. Yeah, so you can kind of see what it was doing. Yeah, so it appears the ends are selected, but that's just because the other faces are shining through. I'm just gonna get them all like that. Then we'll do a grow selection. Gets the ones down there. They look good. Then go to smoothing. There it is. And we'll say that's the group. There we go. And now this is smooth down here, which is a pretty good low poly technique. Okay. So do I want to copy this one down instead of redoing all that? Yeah, I do. Let's take this guy. Duplicate. Hey, I said duplicate. Why would you not duplicate like I asked? There we go. Bring this one down to here. I guess it'll be easy enough to line it up. I can delete the other one. That looks pretty good. I think it's probably gonna be easier to just model this one like I did the last one instead of flipping that other one around. So in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, extrude, link up, okay. And let's select the faces. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and grow that. Smooth that. I hate it when I do that. Okay, so that fixes that. I would say that as a prefab, but there's so many weird cases like this that it becomes hard to come up with a nomenclature that would make them referenceable when you come up with all the different combinations. And I don't think this is quite a one-off. I think it might be like a 5-off or something. Like I might do this 5 more times in all the levels. And if I had, a game object for each time I made one of these things off here in my library, it would just sort of clutter it up. It's already a little bit tough for me to make sense of the ones that are here. And yeah. Okay, so similarly, I'm going to do a one-off here, which is a double-sided rail for going down the steps. That one is maybe a little more. Yeah, I've got rail north, south, down, west. Yeah, I could do those ones as they come up. Okay, so this is rail west, east, down, south. And we'll start with rail down south. I will make a prefab for this one. Rail west, east, blocking east as well. Then I just take all these guys here and make a copy of them. So logically, that that top level component expresses what will be an obstacle. Wrong. Okay. Logically, it's that top level checkbox I just checked, which matters for saying what's an obstacle. Just got to fix the visuals now. Copy those across. There we go. And that is a new prefab. southeast. Cuckoo. Okay, the north-south. North, south, down, west. See, I've got a prefab for that. Cool. Okay, southwest. Okay, and this is rail west, east, down, north. So I'll just do the same thing I just did a moment ago and make a new prefab to cover the double-sidedness. Technically, I don't need it because I've got a pillar here from a logical perspective, but from an aesthetic perspective, I think it's correct to have it be double-sided. So unpack that, rename it. Here's the logical part. Obstacle east. That will go into the board, which is the data structure for representing the game logically as opposed to visually. Okay. Go. Okay. Then we go. This is going to be northwest. Okay, this is rail north, south, down, east. Do I have that yet? If not, I've got one more to do. Yeah, I don't have it yet. So I'll make the last of 4 in this, whoops. Oh, that's an interesting one. I forgot about that one. So this is rail north, down, east, which I'll update to be rail north, south, down, east. Okay, unpack. Rename. It's something's a little weird. Let me move that back to there. Make sure I'm just grabbing along this axis. The thing that's weird is this guy here is not lining up. Or maybe it is. Maybe I'm mistaken. I probably need to adjust this prefab up here. So I think this is actually lined up correctly. I think this is just over a little too far, the previous prefab. But this new one I made is correct. Okay, so I'll do that one. fix this one. There, that should do it. And update the prefab. There we go. All right, I think I have all the prefabs I need now for this. This is the kind of 3D modeling stuff I really enjoy, actually. West, east, down, north. Figuring out mildly difficult 3D problems. Not like really hard ones. There's some that were maybe a little too much to properly enjoy. They were more like things that were fun once I was done with them, or you know, I appreciate the end result. But this type of task, I really enjoy it while I'm doing it. Okay. Ah. That's not the right piece. Don't want to have a rail right against the wall like that. So let's do rail west. So aesthetically, I'm good with putting a rail between the floor and a pillar, because it does seem like the type of thing a builder would do. I don't want you to twist your ankle by getting it caught there with the pillar. Let's get it safe. Let's make it safe. I want a safe arena for people to fight in. Rail north, down, east. Safe arena. Not that one. Okay, north, south, down, east. West, east, down, south. Yeah. North, south, down, west. South, down, east. This construction probably illustrates why I don't have some kind of auto tiling solution. The number of combinations to figure out is just fairly complex, and then there's a little bit of art to it. It's not just an obvious thing how you're going to place these guys. An algorithm that's capturing my thinking, I'm not saying my thinking's so fantastic, but it would just be quite complex. West, east, down, south. I mean, just like the stuff like I was talking through about, okay, if there's a pillar on one side, let's have a rail there. If it's a wall, I don't want it, it won't look good, you know, stuff like that. Just would take forever to code up properly in a algorithm and debug it. Okay, southwest or southeast. North, south, down, west. Southwest. And maybe here I want east. Found another issue. I hope I'm not just fixing the same thing again and again in the same prefab and it's reverting or something. Rail north, south, down, west. That is weird. Alright, so U should be simple metal. That you're too low. Okay. It's gonna be fun to climb up this and test it out. Okay. I gotta do the inner corner things. So this is our corner southeast. I feel like Unity could do a better job of picking the initial placement of the object. Let's see, that looks off by 1. So I keep on trying to get it to pick a good place to start, and sometimes it does when it places, other times it does not. So here, there we go. That'll do it. It takes a little fiddling though. It shouldn't be that fiddly, I don't think. So where my mouse is, it ray casts to a very specific point, and that is exactly the Y that I want this to be at, but it's not really going there. I gotta jiggle it around different ways, you know. It's not as smart as it could be. It doesn't seem like that hard of a problem to solve. You just ray cast and find the point from the camera that it's hitting and align with it. That's it. And I think it has worked before, and I think recently it stopped working. So there's probably a bug there. Or sometimes, you know, they're trying to do something else, fixing it at a different bug, add a new capability, and it introduces a regression. See all this extra fiddling I'm doing because of the initial placement wasn't good. Somewhere visible, there we go. And there's always that thing about the y-axis arrow disappearing when you want to use it. Because it's like at a bad angle or something to represent it. Like right now, they won't show it. So you have to move it off to the side. Now it's visible, that kind of thing. I'm sure that solves some other problem. See, gotta drag it off. Now I can get the axis. Also thinking about this a little bit, like I badmouth Pro Builder every once in a while for being, you know, substandard modeling tool. But this is exactly the kind of game, not just for aesthetic reasons, where there's benefits to modeling inside of the scene. So these rails are a good example of that. They're very specific to, sorry, I'm distracted by the dog being distracted by something, which is probably nothing very interesting. Is not particularly smart as far as figuring out what's an actual threat. He's probably barking at my wife smoking. So here's what I'm saying. If I didn't have the ability to adjust all these little pieces quickly inside of the editor, my options would be make those adjustments inside of like the third-party modeling software, you know, Blender, whatever. And that would tend to lend itself to maybe larger prefabs that you reuse, where, you know, like I want like a, you know, a whole prefab that's just for this this structure that I'm building here, and I'd maybe reuse it again elsewhere, but it would always be the same prefab, you know. It wouldn't be built up of all these little pieces that I could move around different ways. Or I suppose it's quite possible that I could one-off pieces as needed inside of the modeling software at this granularity. But the workflow where you go and you ask a modeler to work on a prefab to bring into your level, it tends to either increase the communication you have with the other person that's working in the modeling software to take into account all these level design bits, or force simpler reusable solutions that don't require as much communication. So this whole division of labor thing inside of larger teams, it biases towards certain kinds of games and certain types of solutions. And I'm hoping there's some little bits of charm in this that come from the same person thinking out the engine being the same one that does the modeling, being the same one that, you know, creates the levels and all that. I think there will be. I think there'll also be some bad things about that approach. The short term for it is programmer art. This is very close to programmer art. Now, I'm not a complete weakling of an artist. I can do some stuff. I'm like somewhere between a complete amateur and a professional. I have actually worked as a professional graphic designer before. I know there's a big gap between my skills and someone who does it every day for a living. Giant gap. Okay, which corner do I need for this? This is our corner northeast. So for this type of game, for this type of workflow, this type of team, the Pro Builder modeling solution is, I think, a good idea. You could argue other types of solutions in the same category, like UModeler, for example. You could argue adding some additional tools, custom stuff like constructive solid geometry to Pro Builder. Like Manifold Garden did that, for example. But the basic idea that your modeling tool is your level creation tool, it has strengths. Okay, let's get these. This is close to done. Just a few of these left. Let's get the blocks back in. All right. I am anxious. Anxious is the wrong word. I'm excited. Thrilled at the idea of climbing up this tower. I'm going to do it right now. Bam. Pre-process. Pre-process one more time. What is this? Okay, let's do it. I'll go ahead and move her back to where she was meant to start. Okay, player. Save that. Try it out. That looks crazy, and I don't know why. Oh, it's all the up angles. It's going up steps, and then there's less right angles to view because of all the upstairs. Or it's hard to make sense of it. It looks pretty weird from this angle. Not bad weird, though. It looks good weird. And I think when I get over there, it'll be a little more easy to make sense of it visually. Alright. Got a lot of shine coming off these new statues from Evasive Bits. I tried to make him shiny because it was a couple nights ago he was asking for me to make something shiny. I thought, let's just make these proper shiny for him. Oh, look at it, look at it. It's kind of amazing. Pretty dark in here. Want to get some lights in there. Good camera at the beginning. I was worried about a little too much duck under action, but that is up high enough that it's not really doing much. I am able from here to see the other stair on the exterior. I wasn't able to before. That's all right. I'm also looking for ways to break out of this thing. I'll make sure it's not possible. Okay. It's okay to break out of it and just land on the ground somewhere. That's fine. Non-stop text. Oh, but this is good. Okay. So thinking about this a little bit. If I fix the bug where the rails don't properly go up 2 spaces, then that would stop being able to fling over the top like that. But still, let me just check and see what actual problems there are. That's potentially a problem, but I was going to make it so you can't do ramped flings anymore. You can just fling up and down steps and it'll stop at the top of the step. So I won't treat that as a problem yet. That's a problem. But if I do the rails twice, it won't allow you there. I mean, if I do the rails up too high as obstacles, it'll be fine. Visually, I quite like it. Okay, that one is okay. It's not letting me go anyplace. That one, I need the extra height to block it. this has a nice advantage too, that I get to see the safe door open up as I break the blocks. Looks like I might have a placement error right here, like it's up one high or something like that. Okay, let's... Now it should have immediately opened. That's a bug. That's a bug in the blocks. Okay. Got that one already. I'm just going to commit to this other change. I'll put this here. Okay. Let me change that a little bit. Okay. So open until all blocks destroyed. I don't know if I can say this is general behavior. I'll just say for safe on little arena. Okay. I do like this new tower thing. I like it a lot. That was safe. Some placement error there on this roof piece. This one too, it looks like. Maybe that one as well. Okay. Let me count how many steps to get up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's not going to work until I put the extra height on the rails for obstacles. I love my cloverleaf stairs. I think they're awesome. Hold on, I'll be right back. get some more coffee. I'll be right back. Oh. I love my cloverleaf staircase. It needs a little more lighting. I'll add the lighting in, then I'll get to scripting. Let's also check. Looks like from this view. Awesome. Okay, let's get the lighting, a few other fixes, move on to scripting. Lighting. Just a few spotlights down here, I think. Point lights. I think that's what I want. I think we bring in the purple. That's looking pretty good to me. Okay, do I want to fill in this gap? The advantage of not filling it in, I think, is that you get to see more as you come up the steps. To see little glimpses of everything below you. I'll leave it. Alright, I'll test it out real quick, and then I think after that I get to move on to scripting. And this I don't get. I fixed the lights here so many times. It still just doesn't look like enough. Now watch the difference when I go to the scene view. Oh, look at all that light. Look at it. Look how much light. It's so ridiculous. You would think that it was just deleting those lights. Let's try to move them a little closer, I guess. It's a little nonsensical. I just don't know why Unity can't have the same lighting in the scene view as I get in play mode. Particularly when I'm not relying on baking. Up here it looks dreary. Let's get something up there. It's just not allowing for any subtlety when I have to have a totally different result once I hit play. It's just not allowing for subtlety. And this range thing is nonsense. The range is not 20 meters off in that direction. It's like half of it or something like that. Actually, I have both problems. Sometimes it seems like the range extends beyond what I've entered and I don't want it to, and other times it seems like it doesn't reach where I want it to get to. So it's just a lot of unpredictability in the lighting and rendering. Maybe it's the standard pipeline. Maybe I should have moved over to URP or something else. It probably is like a knowledgeable way to get past all the problems I see, but I don't like it when you take a fresh install, a stock scene, stock settings, the ones that are sort of built in the render lighting, and it does weird shit. It's like I'm not throwing much at it, it's just behaving strangely by default. Okay, let's play. See? Dreariness. Is it like limiting the number of lights that can be placed or something? That's just weird. I do have a lot of lights in the scene, I'll say that. It didn't light up so great here. Arguably enough, but again, way different than what's in the scene view. Way different. Lots of time for Billy to get to the other side. Lots and lots. Okay, let me try one thing just to narrow this bug down. If I have block pads and if these blocks just move someplace else, will that do it? I suspect it will. Let me find a place that is inside of the current level space but not visible. Down here. Down here. Okay, so we'll say, yeah, under here. Okay, that's what we got. While I'm at it, let's go ahead and do wind as well. I can also move wind down here. Oh, but I don't want them to be anything that continues to spell the word, so something tells me that'll fix that one bug. Let's do the unpacking. Okay, and then this shit down here. What is up with this? What is going on? Let's do 2. See what that looks like. Let's do range 20. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. Let's go back to 1. I did see earlier this problem with the range. See if I can just fix it by increasing the range. Maybe on the other side too, where it's looking dreary and it doesn't need to be. Okay, are you at 10? No, you're at 30 and 20. You are at 30. I'm not seeing you, so let's make you crazy bright, I guess. Alright, just to see if I can have any kind of change. It might be an issue with the number of lights in the level, I don't know. I just don't have a good explanation for it. Okay, that's an overcompensation, but I'm able to affect the level. So let's try something less extreme. See if it does anything at all. .1 as opposed to 1. 1.1. Alright, we'll try that. Nothing. Or maybe it's something, but it's so subtle, you know? Although up there, I guess it looks okay. I see a lot of purple on the other side. I'll go check that out. I do love those background buildings. A little bit proud. Alright, it seems like I've managed to brighten it. It's not shining on the floor very much. Maybe it's okay. I think I'll leave it for now. I'll move on to scripting. This does feel like good enough with lighting. Okay. Oh, let's see if the bug with the door is fixed. Yes, it is. Okay. So I'll just make a note. That's the fix for it. Blocks need block pads. It's something about them sort of staying in place after you destroy them. It also looks better to see them fling away someplace. Not fling away, fly away. Okay. Let's do some scripting. So, blocks. Scripting. I don't like these new statues that EB gave me. Nice job, EB. Okay, I've got a brunch coming to my door pretty quick. So I'm going to pick some unambitious stuff to do in this last 10 minutes or so before the food gets here. Let's see if I can just do a quick fix for the rails. Rail discovery. Oh, you gotta do an adder for these. Okay. Add the board. Let's see how to do it on this one. Okay, I just gotta create two pieces, add them to the board. Okay. one more rail piece up above it. I should set that up right. Public. What's the issue? You should be able to, because I'm implementing real adder right here. Oh, that's the problem right there. Okay. Let's see if this does it. Okay. Aha. Works. Oh. It's one of those smug moments where the past decisions I made for setting up my architecture are justified. I was able to, in 5 minutes, you know, add a pretty significant change. Well, this is a nice place to take a brunch break. I'm not sure if I'll be back on after the brunch, or I might do some off-stream stuff. I think I might come back. I think I will come back. We'll see. All right, let's go. Let's count the steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Step up 1 here. 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, so it's 23 to get to the top. That would have been ample for Billy to be somewhere around the north wall. And then coming back down, it's just going to be 22 again. Let's double check it. 1, 2, 3. Now it's going to be faster. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Then just to get down there, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Like to race to block Billy, it's 27 steps. He's in. He's easily in. So then I'll be able to chase Billy down this way. And I can use flinging to catch up with him, but as soon as he's in my path, he'll block my fling. And there's one interesting part here where I could end up jumping over the top of him. I can see later if that causes scripting problems. I suspect it won't. Anyways, food's here. I'm gonna have brunch. I'll get back to work afterwards. Maybe I'll stream again. I don't know. Stopping the stream. Stop now.